I just watched the first episode of the Brett Cooper show. She's killing it. I was right. It was perfect. It was exactly what it was supposed to be. And see, the thing about it is, the title of the show is Let's Talk About Right-Wing Cancel Culture, right? And she didn't touch on her specific situation at all. I don't know if there's a contract, any NDAs involved that made her not do it, but she didn't touch on any of it. But she touched on some really good stuff. She touched on Whitney Cummings. Whitney Cummings killed that CNN roast, impromptu roast that she did. That she just went in, right? She touched on the Zuck. See, I watched the episode with the Zuck on Rogan, and I watched the whole thing. It's very rare that I watch a whole 3 hour, podcast like that. But it was good because I never saw him like that. I started to see him change, and I was like, you know what? I stopped. I didn't have a Facebook account for years. I stopped in 2018. I just recently got one because of Monopoly Go, and I hardly use it, right? But watching the Zuck on there, I was like, okay, all right. He seems like, and she, even besides Zuck, she brought up a point about the Zuck. In the sense of, okay, people were ready to say, oh, whatever, why did he push back? But if he was afraid, one of the richest dudes in the world and one of the biggest companies in the world, if he was afraid of the government, that shows that it ain't just something that you could just easily say, nah, we ain't gonna listen. We ain't gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we know government corruption is a thing. We know this. And for the Zuck to get up there and be like, hey, man, we got pressured, it is what it is. And when she touched on it, I was like, yeah, I felt that too. I understood that. Ultimately, it was like an episode of her old show. It was just as good, smooth ran. I would definitely love to see Brett Cooper interview Candace Owens and Candace Owens interview Brett Cooper because, I like both of them. And like I said before, I'm not necessarily the main right-wing guy, I do questionable stuff, okay? And I didn't vote in the last thing because I don't trust the government. But at the same time, I enjoyed this episode and I'll watch more. I'm interested to see who she has as a guest going forward, how many people she's gonna do it. She's gonna do it. I like it. Kudos to Brett Cooper. Excellent first episode. I watched the likes when I started watching it. It was at 90,000 likes, and now it's at 120,000 likes. You're doing it. Good stuff.